mental.
What previous screen name have you previously used? Are you MJ?
Yes, I'm MJ.
I knew I recognized that sexy voice and that brilliant mind.
Oh, well, MJ, man, I always wanted to talk
Takes
to you.
one to know one. Hey, Prague, what's
I
going on,
I
man?
really miss your input. I always enjoy your input from Discord, so I'm glad to see you here.
By default, I am now a Darth lackey because I agree with what you're saying.
If you keep it up for a couple of months, then you will be promoted to a bootlicking Darth lackey.
Oh my
You'll
goodness, I'm
be
so
on
excited.
you'll be on an equal level with Praise I Am here on stage.
We get little stickers at the end of the day. It's gonna be great.
Yes, you do. Juho, welcome to the room. What would you like to say?
Yeah, hi. I listened.
What would you like to say?
I listened to this discussion for a while. I would like to ask you, how do you, or what is wrong with the thinking? Like, let's say, first, there is no evidence of any particular God, and
Well,
second,
that's a claim, isn't it?
yes.
Okay,
I'm
does the claim
presenting
have to
certain
be
claims.
defended?
Yeah,
Does the statement there is no evidence for God have to be
but
defended?
that's only the first one. I would like to present maybe three. The first one is that
Okay.
there's no evidence of any particular God. Second, you could still say that there could be a God. And third, you discussed about this, why are there things and who has created them? You could just say, we don't know. Something has created the
Okay.
universe and
Well,
not
okay.
necessarily a God, but we don't
The
know.
mistake that you're making is a mistake that is widespread throughout the world. And it has nothing to do with your intelligence or your education, because many professional philosophers make the same mistake. The mistake is the product of not thinking transcendentally at a worldview level about the God issue. Okay? And transcendentally thinking is as simple as this: we have two worlds. We have the God world and the not God world conceptually, right? Now, people claim to suspend judgment, but unfortunately, when you claim to suspend judgment, you are purposely invoking facts without referencing the necessity of God. When you do that, that is an implicit, indirect denial of the existence of God, whether one realizes it or not. So the claim to suspend judgment is as real as a plastic piece of civil war. Those who claim to suspend judgment about the existence or non existence of God don't, because they purposely invoke facts without referencing the necessity of God. They feel that they have no need to invoke or reference God when they can and do invoke facts. And if you feel you have no need or necessity to reference God when invoking facts, that constitutes an indirect denial of God. Okay? Care to respond?
Yes, I think my 3 points were all sort of subjective in the sense that they only talked about how I or whoever person that was feels about these things. They didn't state anything about the ultimate truth, how things are.
Oh, no. When one invokes facts, they will either reference the necessity of God or they will invoke facts without referencing the necessity of God. Do you agree?
Yes, it was without what I was talking.
Right. Now, if you invoke facts by choice, then you've already decided you're not in any need of invoking God when invoking facts. And if that's your belief, then it logically entails the denial of God.
No,
Okay?
because my
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
second
okay.
point
Yeah,
was
it
that there
does.
could be a
Okay. All
God.
right. Okay, you're not okay, listen to me. You're not understanding this issue. There's only two conceptual worlds. There's the God world versus the not God world. In the God world, all facts derive and depend upon God. They are universally derived and depend upon God. In the not God world, all facts, individually and collectively, universally do not derive and necessitate referencing God. Do you understand the difference between the relationship of facts within each respective model of reality?
Yes, that makes sense. But I think I
Now,
see that in my
I'll ask you, you can say to me, I'm not denying there's a God. I'll say, oh, are you affirming God? And you'll say, well, no. Well, then you're claiming to suspend judgment. But you see, that's another claim. So I want to see if the claim is genuine. So all I have to do is ask you a question that can falsify the claim. And the question is, when you invoke facts, do you do so without reference to the necessity of God?
in my example, yes.
Good. Then you're not suspending judgment because you feel you don't need to invoke God when speaking facts. So you haven't suspended judgment. You believe that facts can and do exist, stand alone for whatever reason, without referencing the necessity of God. And sir, that's not a neutral position. You've decided that God isn't necessary, right?
No, because my point was that all my
Sir, so
claims,
have you decided that God is necessary?
my point was that my
Have
three
you
claims were
decided God is necessary?
no, because my
Oh,
three.
okay. So listen to me. Do you invoke facts?
What does it mean? Invoke facts.
Do you invoke any facts of any sort?
So I think I know something. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So when you invoke facts, they will either explicitly or implicitly reference the necessity of God, or the facts will be invoked that don't or are without referencing the necessity of God.
Yeah, and the second one,
Which way
the
do
second.
you invoke facts?
In my example, it was the second way.
Right. Guess what? That constitutes the denial of God.
No, because these
You
observations
know,
were.
yes,
How,
let me tell you
can I
why.
say?
Let me tell you why. Okay. In a God world, do all facts by necessity reference God?
I guess so.
In a not God world, do all facts are they invoked without the necessity of referencing God?
I guess so.
Right. So you're invoking facts without the necessity of referencing God. You've decided that God's not needed.
Uh, Needed for what? I don't know. That was almost
Sir,
correct. I don't know.
when
Needed
you
for what?
invoke facts, do you reference the necessity of God? The answer is no.
In that example, yes, no, correct.
That's right. So you've decided that it's not necessary to invoke God.
Uh, I don't know necessary for what, because this.
Listen,
What
do you understand?
I
Listen
think.
to me.
Yeah,
Do you understand that there is a reciprocal nature between facts and God, or a reciprocal nature between facts and not God? Now, when you invoke facts, okay, suppose you invoke the color of a car. Either when you invoke a car, it will be invoked as completely and entirely red or not. Okay?
yep,
You are invoking facts by choice, feeling you don't need or necessitate referencing God,
yes,
correct?
yes. I'm quite certain
Good.
that the car is
Good.
red.
Your facts don't need God to be invoked as the reason why they are actual and intelligible.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Guess what? That logically commits you to the non-existence of God.
No, not. Remember that my
Yes.
second point was
Okay, you're not
that
getting
there
this.
could be a God.
No, sir, you have cognitive dissonance. Now you seem like you're an intelligent person. Okay? We're talking about the relationship between facts and God and facts and not God. Now, in a world where God, look, can a God believer be logically consistent and coherent if he says that even one fact doesn't necessitate reference as God? No, he can't. In the God world, every single fact necessitates referencing God. In the not God world, there are no facts that necessitate referencing God, right?
Yeah.
So the facts that you do invoke, in which world are they in?
My answer is, as I already said, I think the difference. Well, I cannot answer straight.
Answer the question.
Yes, okay. The
Which
world, the
conceptual
world.
worldview are your facts pertaining to? Are your facts
Yes,
in
I
the
can answer.
God or the not God world?
Yeah, I can answer. They are not in the God world, and they are not in the non-God world, because
That's false.
they were
No,
in the
sir.
subjective
Listen.
world.
Wow, you are really frustrating to deal with.
Yeah, but I
You
can
are denying the obvious.
I can
Have you decided, I'll rephrase the question. Are you willing to say and to believe that when you do invoke facts, they necessitate referencing God as the ultimate precondition? Are you willing to affirm that?
I can't confirm that.
No, I said, are you willing to affirm, to assert it?
No, that's the
Okay,
one world
so
view one that we
that's
present, the God
because
view.
you have a belief. That is because you have a belief that facts do not necessitate referencing God. That's what you believe.
That's close to true.
Good. If you believe that any fact does not necessitate referencing God, that is the same thing as saying God doesn't exist.
Yeah, but that's now,
Yeah,
because
but is what 13-year-olds say. You
yes,
can
but
bicker all you want. What you're attempting to do is to deny God while claiming you're not denying God. You believe that facts, when invoked, do not necessitate referencing the necessity of God. That belief is the logical equivalent of saying God doesn't exist.
I cannot agree with that.
Then have a nice day, sir, because you don't have any other options.
I think I tried to say that there's the subjective approach where I'm sort of a
No,
little bit
sir, listen to me carefully. Do your facts necessitate God?
no, in the sense that
Thank you. Guess
the
what?
picture that I described does not do that.
Hold on a second. So facts don't need God, right?
That's not what I want to say, because now we are
Sir,
talking about
no,
absolute
sir. You
truths.
see, what you're doing is you're fighting tooth and nail to evade the necessary implications of what you do say.
I
Okay?
agree.
Do you understand? Listen to me. If P, then Q. P, therefore Q. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you affirm P and P necessarily entails Q, and you affirm P, then you are also affirming Q. Do you
Yes.
understand?
Yes.
Now, you are affirming that there are facts that don't necessitate referencing God.
Not in an
Okay?
absolute sense.
Sir, listen to me. Listen to me. Either you will invoke facts with the necessity of referencing God, or you're going to invoke facts without referencing the necessity of God.
Yes.
Which do you do?
Oh, may I use a little bit more words? Thank
Which
you.
do you do?
The second one was correct, but I would
Right.
like to
So
continue.
you are invoking facts that are without or don't need invoking God,
Yes, in the
right?
example, that's correct.
Right. So can God logically coexist in a world where even one fact does not reference him?
that's a bit tricky, but
No, it's not. It's not a
following
tricky
you,
question.
I think
It's a
I think
simple
yes,
question.
yes,
Can
you are correct
God
there.
logically coexist? Can God logically coexist in a world where even one fact is asserted to be actual without the necessity of referencing God? Can God coexist with such a fact?
I will follow your definitions and logic there, and I say that.
Hey, sir,
cannot
you know what
exist.
you're doing? You're doing what every atheist does. Okay? You're bickering, evading, and dodging. Now, I asked you a simple question.
Yes.
Okay? Can God logically coexist in a world where even one fact is affirmed to exist without the necessity of referencing God?
Cannot, if you follow your definitions.
That's good. Okay, so by your reason, you have invoked a fact that doesn't necessitate God. Consequently, God cannot logically coexist. You have just agreed to that.
No.
Okay, goodbye. All right. Okay. He was removed back to the audience, not because he was merely disagreeing, but because he's doing what atheists do all the time. They are just simply fundamentally dishonest. Okay? He just admitted that God cannot logically coexist in the same world where even one fact is invoked to be actual without the necessity of referencing God. He just agreed to that. Where do they grow these people?
He just got
Technically,
the
that would be an
runaround.
impossible world.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Matt. I accidentally removed you. Come on back up, Matt. Welcome to the room, John. What would you like to say?